Well, hello everybody. It's Bug Eater 64, and we are back once again. We're going to be doing a test flight tonight on the 787. As you can see in the background there, she's a pretty bird, but behind her there you see Las Vegas. And we're going to be doing a night flight from KLAS, which is Las Vegas, to CYVR, which is Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. The Vancouver International Airport up there. And so we're going to get going here. And this 787 that I got off the org, and see how she goes. And looking forward to the flight. Hope you enjoy it. And we'll get started here real soon. So I'll see you in the cockpit. Okay, so here we are, runway 01 left. And Las Vegas, we're getting ready, and we've started our takeoff roll. So sit back and relax and enjoy the flight. Get to see Las Vegas at night. Remember, whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, or at least until it becomes a YouTube video. Cruising altitude tonight is going to be about 13,000 feet, because that's all we need. And rotate. I don't do a lot of night flights, but I have to admit, Las Vegas at night, it's something special. All the lighted strip there, you can see the Las Vegas Strip. And this flight's about 1,000 miles. And we're actually going to make about a 180-degree turn. So we've seen Vegas from this side, the strip from this side. And shortly, we're going to look at it going the other way. And just about a full moon tonight. And what I have found out is that if you move the camera angle just the right way, you can go anything from a full moon down just a sliver of a moon to no moon. You are the controller of the heavens. Not really, but it sounded good. But yeah, if you move the camera angle, the view certain ways, you can change how much moon you see. And there's the Las Vegas Strip from the other side. Beautiful city at night. Now this isn't a Flight Jobs flight. It's not a sim buddy flight like I normally do. This is just a test flight. Trying to learn the aircraft a little bit, and trying to learn the new plug-in I put in, Goodway, which is a nifty little plug-in. We're going to be taking a little bit more of a look at it here shortly. The flight plan that I built using it for this particular flight, there's probably 27, 28 waypoints that it generated primarily. And we're going to see how well it follows them all. So this is going to be a learning thing. And I'm going to do a video a little later, little in more depth look at that plugin. Although there are a number of videos on YouTube that can do a much better job than I can about it, because those people have studied it much more than I have. Yeah, and there she is. The little orange airplane, that's us. And I'm kind of curious to see how it follows the flight path, because that's an abrupt, the turn we're going to come up and make is probably 160 degrees. And I haven't learned enough to know how to make any real changes to this flight plan. So, you know, like I said, saw this flight, Goodway flight operations system yesterday on the org. Watched a little short video, said, yeah, let me try that. So I picked it up out of the org store, and I think it was 25 euros. And it's a nifty little program, but I'm sure it works a lot better than I know how to work it. The reason I wanted to try this too is it automatically, I can tell it once I've got my flight plan, I can load it directly into the FMC or FMS, and it's there. Excuse me. With this particular version of the 787, I had, when I first tried flying it and setting up a flight plan, I had a lot of issues with the FMC it uses. So this helped me get rid of that problem. Because the 787 seems to fly really well. It's easy to fly. But that FMC, trying to load things into it, it got to be a real problem. Trying to load my pre-planned flight plans that I have in X-Plane 11. Okay, we haven't quite gotten to our waypoint yet, but it looks like we are, yeah, it's starting the turn already, so it's cutting the corner. Well, let's see what happens, see if we get credit for that waypoint. And it doesn't look like we did. Huh. Okay. But it looks like the airplane is still flying the route. Now, this is the map section, as you already know. But that's all their waypoints. You can see them there going up to Canada. Also gives me the weather for the locations. So by the time we get to Canada, to Vancouver, we're going to be in real heavy rain storms. So it'll be interesting to see. But right now we've got clear, some scattered clouds, but for the most part, clear weather. And so we're going to enjoy it. And we'll see how things go later on. But the FMC autopilot is following the flight plan. But we did not get credit for that one waypoint. We'll have to look at that a little closer. But so far, everything is working just as advertised. Okay, so we're flying along fine. Yeah, it did not give us credit, so it's still showing that waypoint as the active waypoint as far as the flight plan. But the aircraft is following the other, following along our flight plan. But, and I don't know how to change. The top portion you see there is the actual flight plan itself. And you can see that it's not changing to each of the sections because we cut the corner there, so I have to remember that. So at this point we've flown along quite well. Everything's gone according to plan except cutting the corner there. And I'm having problems because I'm getting ready to change altitude. We're getting close to our descending location, and I want to head down to 5,000 feet. And I have a hard time sometimes with this version of the autopilot setting up to get it to go where I want it. So, there we are. Close enough for government work. Now we'll set up our descent there and move right along. So we should be all set to start our descent. Yeah, it's still showing the waypoint we cut the corner on. And we'll get down to 3,000 feet. By the time we get to where we're going to start our approach. Slow down the speed some. Since we're below 10,000 feet, we don't want to break the rules, so we have to be under 250 knots. And still messing around with this thing. And everything's looking good. And let's see here. And we're descending nicely. Now at this point I plugged in our approach items, and for some reason I think the autopilot is following a heading. It's not following our flight plan. So I'm going to get up here, and I couldn't get it to take the approach vectors. So as we get up closer to the airport, I'm going to have to fly this by hand. So we'll see how that goes, flying a 787 by hand. Especially in a driving rainstorm, because we're just about to get down in altitude. We're going to be dead in the middle of it. So this should be interesting. Tried to get it to follow the flight plan, and it won't do it. Once we get into these clouds, we should start running into the rain. And nothing changed. Alrighty, well, we'll continue on. Below 10,000 feet, I went ahead and put on the landing lights. See if we can illuminate things a little bit better. we go. Sometimes the landing lights will cause that flash effect. So I'm going to go ahead and turn them off real quick. And it didn't seem to make any difference. We broke through that set of clouds. And once I turn the landing lights back on, we're going to see a lot of rain. Yeah, the aircraft is just flying ahead, and right now it's not following a flight plan. So, like I said, I've got a lot to learn about this Goodway system and how it interacts with the aircraft. But for our first flight, we're not doing too bad. I should have been following that blue line. We're not. And there should be a way where I can tell it which waypoint to fly to, but I don't know. Like I said, haven't learned that part yet. Be long, and we'll be making our right turn. I'm sorry, left turn towards runway 26. 26 left. And you can see the flight path we had. Get ready to fly over the city of Vancouver. And that little area there, White Rock, there's a really nice beach there. There was. It's an area as a child I used to play at. my grandmother's house was right near there, so when we'd go to visit, that's where I used to play on the beach. I was born in a suburb of Vancouver called New Westminster, and the family moved there. Mom and Dad and I moved from Canada down to California so Dad could get work when I was a child, and then we just stayed. Got my citizenship, joined the U.S. Air Force, retired from that in 1994, went into law enforcement and retired from law enforcement by doctor's orders, which I thought really sucked, but in 2012. So I've been a tired, old, fat, gray-haired retired man for a while now, and I am enjoying it. Getting ready to start our approach now. So, as they say, hold on to your butts and let's hope we get down through this rainstorm without incident. There's the airport. Be making our left turn here onto Final. Yes, the aircraft is mine. I'm going to have to hand fly it, I know. There's a lot of wind here, a lot of rain. So this should be interesting. Hopefully we'll be able to get her down without breaking the airplane. The airport straight ahead of us. Say hello to driving rain, and lots of it. So landing gear is down and locked. A lot of turbulence here. And the more I slow down to try to land this bird, the more those turbulence pick on me. My goodness, yeah. You think we're in a rainstorm? Trying to keep her under control now, keep her headed at the runway. Lots of turbulence winds, wow. Just keep working it. I'll be happy just to get it on the runway. I don't care if it's center line or not. Just let me put it on pavement.
Approaching 26 left.
Well, at least we're approaching the right one.
Approaching runways.
With the way the wind's blowing us around, even the computer's confused. It's telling me just pick one. Yeah, way left. Let's see if we can nudge her over a little bit. Ooh, that was a good gust. Here we go. Ease her down, ease her down. Nudge her left, there, or right, I mean. There we go, touchdown. Not bad, 100 feet a minute. And the good news is we're down safely on the runway.
Remaining.
The bad news is
remaining.
my reversers aren't working.
Remaining.
Slow this thing down with brakes. Why are not my
2,000
reversers
remaining.
working? I'll have to check that later.
1,000 remaining.
Yeah, we're getting her slowed down.
500 remaining.
We'll go turn on the taxiway.
Caution on taxiway. On
Yes,
taxiway.
I know. Not my prettiest rollout, but hey, we're still in one piece. We're still moving. Touchdown was 100 feet per minute. Can't complain with that at all. Didn't break the airplane.
Flight attendants, disarm doors.
Everybody in the back is happy. We're just going to head
Ladies
this
and
taxiway
gentlemen, welcome to our destination.
to the gate.
For your safety and comfort, please remain seated until the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign. Please check around you for any personal belongings. Please also use caution when opening the overhead lockers, as heavy articles may have shifted during the flight. On behalf of the flight crew, thank you for flying with us, and have
Turn
a
the landing
pleasant
lights
day.
off. Turn our taxiway lights on. And we'll start heading to the gate. Get the flaps up. And it is raining.
Approaching. 1, 2.
Yeah, we're going to cross that.
Caution on taxiway. On taxiway.
I'm supposed to be on the taxiway. And as we pull up to the gate here, we'll take a minute and watch that landing again. As we pull up to the gate here. Here we are. Look at the driving rain on that. I'm amazed I put her down as lightly as I did. Especially a big, heavy jet like this 787. But we were way off to the left when we first got in there with all that wind. But we were able to compensate before we touched down, so all the wheels were on pavement. Way left. Let's nudge her over. And we did. And there we touched down. And then my reversers wouldn't work. But we slowed her down enough we were able to use the overrun to make her turn around and get back on the taxiway. Okay, well, down safe. Let's head to the gate. Get this stopped, get the passengers off, and call it a night. Good test flight. Well, hey everybody. Well, the flight went fairly well, didn't it? Wasn't my greatest landing though, must say. I will admit it. But I was landing in a driving rainstorm, as you could tell by looking. But here we are. We're parked at Vancouver International. The airplane works very well. Hope you enjoyed looking at the Goodway plug-in for the navigational portion of it. And I got a lot to learn on that still, but it's got some good aspects to it, and makes setting up a flight plan really easy. And plus, but it does give you the use of SIDS and stars, and different for your approaches and so on. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed it. Sure enjoyed bringing it to you, and we'll be seeing you real soon. Gonna try to get into making some videos a little more often now. Been incredibly busy around the house here with my favorite co-pilot, the Missus, and Mrs. Bug Eater keeps me in line real well, so you know how that goes, guys. After 36 years being together, she keeps me in line pretty well, and she needs to. I'll admit it. So until next time, this is Bug Eater 64. Thanks so much for coming, and look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great weekend, and look forward to our next flight. So long for now. As always, safe flying.